What voice AI receptionist can actually do? This is one of the most common questions our voice AI demos get on our website. So I've decided to make this explanatory video so all business owners interested can once and for all understand this. If you're a business owner with an existing business but you miss calls, or maybe you want to expand your reach, serve more patients, more customers, more clients of yours in a more scalable and more professional way, this video is for you, because in this video I will explain what is an actual voice AI receptionist. Let's start by the basics. Voice AI receptionist is a thing which you have on your phone. So imagine this. So the way it works is the following. Every time somebody calls and you don't pick up, their call gets forwarded to a voice AI agent. Voice AI agent has a separate phone number, and when the transfer happens, customer doesn't even see that the transfer happened. So they still see your brand number, which you have on your website, on your advertisements, or wherever your customers find you. Then AI agent picks up. It then informs that it's an AI agent in order for it to be compliant, and then it proceeds assisting the customer. Now let's talk about the ways it can assist the customer. First thing it can do, it can answer most basic questions, help troubleshoot something, or help with assisting something, or help getting directions. So the goal for AI assistant is obviously to save your time, so it answers all the most common questions. Now, when it doesn't have an answer for a question, it can do one of two things. Either inform the customer that it doesn't know the answer and propose to connect to a human, or inform a customer that it, in this case, also doesn't know the answer, but formulate a ticket. So you get, for example, an email notification right after the call. So this way you don't risk it that customer needs to wait in line before you pick up. AI just politely tells them that human will call you back and asks them if they have any more questions it can assist with. So this is basic Q&A agent formulating tickets. And now let's go to the next level. The next level is AI agent with some tool permissions. So for example, it can quote some services price of yours. So based on customer parameters, so imagine a painter's AI which asks how many square meters it needs to be painted, on what colors, I don't know, whatever painters use. So it can use tool calls in order to give price estimates and consult the clients, especially if there's a lot of calls which are just asking questions when you have standard pricing. The next thing it can do is actually book appointments. You can connect it to your calendar and it can check availability and book appointments. So this is very powerful because it actually becomes like source of real AI, not like AI, like a real receptionist. The next thing it can do is actually send emails and confirmation SMS. So you connect it to your email provider or your SMS provider and it can send confirmation SMS of orders, of bookings. So imagine you call a voice AI, it answers, you try, for example, to book a hotel room or order a pizza, and after that order is complete, you get a confirmation SMS that your order was complete, for example, with a payment link or something like that. Then it can also send follow-up emails. So if voice AI has spoken to a customer, for example, and by number it has identified in your customer database what kind of email the customer has, or the customer has given the actual email, the AI can then actually send to that email the confirmation of whatever we agreed on the call, or maybe some follow-up, or maybe ask how the service went, or ask to leave a Google review. So in this case, it's not more like AI, it's more like an automation, but it can still be determined what will be sent by caller's intent and by AI. And last but not least, you watch this video, maybe you're evaluating some voice AI solutions, maybe even ours. How do you determine whether it's a good fit for you or not? First, it obviously needs to speak your language. Our voice AI assistant is multilingual and handles different accents nicely. You can check it on our website, link is in the description. But overall, whoever you choose, you should first of all think of the primary customer market it will serve. So it should speak nicely. Secondly, it should switch smoothly between the languages. So you have a primary language in which AI assistant answers every time. And for example, then you can have languages which are set up in a way that if person, for example, switches from English to German or to whatever else language, AI doesn't get lost, can use functions properly, can search for information properly, and answer and assist human properly. Usually inbound voice AI assistants are cheaper than humans because they are not directly responsible for making money, they are about saving more money. And how much do these voice AI assistants actually cost? First of all, you need to understand that it never sleeps, it's never late, it always picks up, and you don't actually need to train it as much. You just need to hand the proper documentation to whatever provider you choose to help you set up this system. With that in mind, it usually costs less than a human receptionist because in this case, goal is to minimize the cost, and it's also complementary to a human receptionist. So you don't get rid of a human, you make them better. So if you have, for example, one receptionist and a client comes in, then the receptionist obviously cannot pick up the call. But if you have the system in place, then it automatically forwards the call so customer can speak to an actual AI. And if situation is really bad, or if something is really urgent, or if a customer wants to speak to a human, a receptionist then gets an email and calls them back at the convenient time for them after we are done with their existing customer service. If you're interested in hearing how this system sounds, you can go through a link in the description and test for yourself. We have web demos and phone demos available for your convenience. And if you are interested in setting this system up for yourself, you can book a call with us with the link in the description, and we will gladly look over your situation. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.